Hey y'all, welcome back. And look, I'm about to get frostbite down here in South Louisiana, so we have got to make some potato soup. Now, here is all the stuff you're going to need. This is a very simple recipe. I had no idea that it was this easy, but when I decided that I was going to freeze without the potato soup, I called up one of my best friends, and she was nice enough to give me her recipe. And this is the recipe that all the friends want if you don't feel good, if you're down in the dumps, if you just had a baby, or if you just want some really good potato soup. We always call her to cook for us. But now I have her recipe, y'all, so I can make my own potato soup. So let's get going and get these potatoes peeled. Once you get all your potatoes peeled, you're going to wash them up real good, and then we're going to cut them into chunks. Now, if you don't feel comfortable hacking away at these potatoes right there in the palm of your hand, like I'm doing, then feel free to get a cutting board and cut them however you want to cut them. And this is also preference as to how big you cut your potatoes. Just depends on how big a chunks of potato you want in your soup. If you like a really smooth soup, cut them smaller so they'll cook down. If not, leave some big chunks in there and you'll have big chunks in your soup. All right, now once you've gotten your potatoes cut up however you want them, we're going to go ahead and just put them in a big old pot. Whatever kind of pot you like to normally cook soup or chili or whatever in will work, anything you've got. And we're going to go ahead and add 3 of these big containers of chicken broth to our pot. Now, if you want a lot more juice in your soup, you can always add another container of this chicken broth, but I thought that 3 was plenty. And you can see they are covered with just 2 things of the chicken broth, so if you just want to add 2, you can add 2. Just kind of watch that you don't boil too much liquid out as your potatoes are boiling. So to this, we're going to add a diced up onion, and we're going to add some garlic and onion powder, of course, because you know we add that to everything. But I don't know why I keep buying the small containers of these. I should just buy the big containers and get it over with. But here we are. So add your container, your entire container, not really your entire container, but just add your garlic and your onion powder. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Now, don't add a whole lot of salt because your chicken broth has got a lot of salt in it already. And you don't want it to be too salty because you can always add more salt a little later, but you're not going to be able to take it back out if you add way too much up front. So just let it cook for a little bit and then give it a taste. And if it is not salty enough, you can add a little salt. Just kind of go with however you like it. So once we get these potatoes boiling, I kind of realized with mine, I like chunks of potato in mine, but I don't like a whole lot of chunks of potatoes in mine. So I just took my little meat masher there, my little thing I ground meat with, and I just put it in there and just kind of broke those potatoes up just a little bit. Now, if you have a certified potato masher, feel free to use that if you want to do this. But this is what I had, so that is what I used. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and start adding our heavy whipping cream. And y'all stop laughing right now at my little baby whisk because sadly, that's the biggest whisk I have right now because my big whisk broke. So like I said, in every video, we use what we got. So we're going to use the baby whisk and we're going to burn the fingertips off, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Just whisk it around real good. Make sure you get that heavy whipping cream mixed in there real well. I added about 3/4 of that container. And then once we got it all done and I let it boil for just a little bit, the juice part wasn't quite as thick as I wanted it to be. So I just mixed up some cornstarch slurry, which I just used about a tablespoon of water and about a tablespoon of cornstarch. You just mix it together until it gets smooth and then just mix that into your soup. And then I just let it cook a little bit longer, bring it back up to a boil, and that's it. It's done. Look how good this looks, y'all. And it makes so much soup. So, of course, I had to fix me a bowl because I was starving by the time I had to smell this cooking. But, I do it for y'all. I do it for y'all. I took one for the team again. It was a struggle, but I did it. So I just scooped me up a little bit of soup, and then you got to add the good stuff to it. So you're going to add some shredded cheese, and I have a really neat cheese shredder, and if you haven't seen it, it is in my chicken enchilada video. I'll link that one up above. And then we're going to add some crumbled up bacon and a few little green onions, and that's it, y'all. It is so dang good. And then look what I had left over. I had 6 of these containers, and that's about, I would say, about 2 cups of soup in each container. So now I have all that to put in the freezer for when I want soup later.